Well, kind of a broad category of nutrients, many of which are essential nutrients. And these are the antioxidant category, measured by ORAC points, or activity is measured by ORAC points, ORAC, an acronym for oxygen radical absorption capacity. And the long-lived people you find in the book Immortality, the top 20 longevity cultures on Earth, take in about 20,000 to 50,000 ORAC points today. Americans take in 1,500. They take in 20 times to 50 times the antioxidants we do. They're blessed with 40 times 100-year-olds we do. They have 100-year-old per 250 of their population. We have 100-year-old per 10,000. Per 10,000. That's 40 times difference. And what I want you to do is consciously add antioxidants to your nutrition program. Obviously, fresh fruit, that sort of stuff, vegetables, especially the ones that are red, purple, yellow, orange, these kinds of things, because they have lots of antioxidants in them. But you have to hedge your bet and know exactly how much you're taking in. So our BTT, our Beyond Tangerine, for instance, the original flavor, the tangerine / kind of raspberry flavor, has 5,000 ORAC points per serving. The Beyond Tangerine 2.0 has 8,000 ORAC points per serving. And then you look at, on the other end of the spectrum, selenium. There's no way to measure by ORAC points how valuable it is as an antioxidant. But selenium, one of the many things that selenium does for your immune system is that it recycles glutathione. And selenomethionine recycles glutathione. Otherwise, one molecule of glutathione would contact a free radical, extinguish it, and that would be the end. But you're going to get many times the use of a molecule of antioxidants, especially glutathione, when selenium is present. And then we have chocolate. One of my favorite ways to get ORAC points is triple treat chocolate. Each piece has some 16,762, I believe it is, ORAC points per piece. Each piece the size of a pat of butter. You take 2 of those, it's 33,000 and some change. You take 6 a day, you're getting over 100,000 and some change. And then, of course, you have the cocogivity. Each ounce has 3,000 ORAC points in it. And then, let's see here. We have Cell Shield RTQ. And Cell Shield RTQ has R for resveratrol, T for turmeric, Q for quercetin. And it's just really a great way to get antioxidant points. And, of course, we have, let's see here, Z Radical is a blend of super juices plus 50 milligrams of fucoidan per ounce. Fucoidan is a legendary antioxidant, also provides raw materials to support and promote maintenance of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone matrix, and bone itself. And there's Fucoid Z, which has the same fucoidan activity, but Fucoid Z has 100 milligrams per capsule. Okay? Now, our Java Fit coffee, I don't know, they probably know, but I don't know off the top of my head how many ORAC points are in our Java Fit coffee, but it is well known that premium roast coffee, and premium roast decaf coffee contains an enormous amount of antioxidants that give you a kind of hedge your bet protection against things like Parkinson's disease, rheumatoid arthritis, and so on. So why wouldn't you do this? Now, myself, I take in well over 100,000 ORAC points a day, in addition to my 90 essential nutrients. And I use the, of course, I use the Beyond Tangerine 2.0, is the Cell Shield RTQ. I use triple treat chocolate, and I use the Z Radical and the Fucoid Z, cocogivity. I mean, there's nothing better to put on ice cream or in your Java Fit coffee, cocogivity. Of course, Java Fit coffee, premium roast, and then, of course, we have Java Fit premium roast decaf coffee. We have energy coffee. We have all kinds of other strange coffees. One of our best sellers right now is the not a hazelnut, but one of these nut-flavored coffees. I guess it's hazelnut flavor coffee. Is just really wonderful. And it's one of those things that, I used to say any coffee is bad, but now I say any coffee is good. But when you have Java Fit, you're getting the best of the best. And, of course, there's nothing wrong with 4 or 5 or 6 cups of coffee a day, but 4 or 5 pots of coffee a day would be bad, because you're going to get a huge diuretic effect when you take in enormous amounts of coffee or tea, for that matter, and you're going to lose nutrients in that extra urinations. Well, that's one of the beautiful things. If you want the full, zesty cup of coffee, get the Java Fit Premium Roast. It'll put any of the exotic coffees to shame. It's a great competitor for them. And joining with the Javalution company that actually designs and manufactures and roasts and packages and sells the Java Fit coffee, made us publicly traded. It's just a wonderful, wonderful member of the family of companies with longevity. And I just urge each and every one of you to get involved. Now, if you're going to do these things, I want you to get a hold of that book, Energy Crisis, and the CD along with it, Energy Crisis, and it'll kind of teach you how this works. It's just that great. And then, you can also get a hold of the book, Let's Play Herbal Doctor, goes into auric points and all that kind of stuff, too, as well as the book, Energy Crisis. Well, stick with us. We're going to be back with more Truth, Justice, and the Longevity Way on Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
How about Pearls of Wisdom?
Well, I mean,
you're trying to cut me out of my deal here today,
No, you got a good one, Taylor. Let's go to Pearls of Wisdom.
Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about vaccines today, as there's a report out in the CDC's Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report where they say that adult vaccination rates are drastically low. And they're specifically talking about vaccines for things like tetanus and diphtheria and pertussis, also known as whooping cough. But the percentages are way down, but some of the other percentages for things like HPV are up. And unfortunately for some people, they bought into this whole rush. You know, you see the ads all over TV about, you've got to get your influenza vaccine against the swine flu because you're going to get the flu and you may die, especially if you have already pre-existing health conditions. And another story here, though, from Fox News. It's headlined, "Girl Falls Asleep 30 Times a Day After Receiving Flu Vaccine." And they say that it's supposed to be a simple vaccine against swine flu, but this particular individual, Chloe Glasson, she says it's like being in a bad dream. 4 months after getting the Pandemrix injection, a 15-year-old schoolgirl now has narcolepsy. They say without warning, she falls asleep about 30 times a day wherever she is. It's made her life very challenging, and often she drops off even in class. And she recently went missing for a couple hours because she went into a dreamlike autopilot state while making a short journey to her grandmother's house. Eventually found her way home safely, but not before her terrified family had to contact the police to try and find her. Go on to say that this pioneering treatment will help her establish a more normal sleep pattern, as she's currently being treated at the Royal Hospital for Sick Children, and they're using a drug called sodium oxybate, but it has a little bit of a problem. She can stay awake, but the thing costs $23,000 a year, so yet another good reason not to get the flu vaccine.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where to start. There's so many holes in their stories and beliefs. First of all, narcolepsy is actually what's called reactive hypoglycemia or hyperinsulinemia. We have high levels of blood insulin, and people will eat a meal, and 30 minutes later, an hour later, they fall asleep while they're driving, talking to you. Look at your eyes. They're talking, they're wide awake 1 second, next second they're falling asleep and their face is in the soup, literally, and they wouldn't even notice it. And that's because their blood sugar is dropping so fast because they have high levels of insulin, hyperinsulinemia. And what happens is when you take in a sugar load, whether it's from carbohydrates, potatoes, breads, and things, again, what will happen is the blood sugar goes up very quickly, faster than using table sugar, and all this insulin floating around that's not being used, plus the sensitization, say that 10 times fast, of the cell walls by the products that are in the healthy blood sugar pack will, in fact, drop that blood sugar like crazy. And this is dropping blood sugar. There's nothing that says you can't have 2 or 3 different problems, okay? And if they were honest, I would bet you that she had reactive hypoglycemia before she got vaccinated. A tetanus vaccine is not very useful today because the tetanus organism actually comes from horse manure. Usually when you cut yourself at home, you cut yourself in a restaurant when the glass door breaks, the odds are no horse backed up there and had a bowel movement. The odds of needing a tetanus vaccine, unless you're running around barefoot in the barnyard and step on a rusty nail, or there's horses, the odds of you getting tetanus is pretty low. So I think they're driving the machine over the rails just to get some money. Well, thank you, Doug. It just tells us the medical system has not changed. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Salt Lake City, Utah. And Kathy, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Kathy, you're on the air.
Hi there. I was just calling for information on my, what was it I said? I had a brain situation last week.
Okay, did you have a brain scan or an MRI?
Yeah, right. But I'm calling about cholesterol and if I need to take it any further.
Okay. Well, cholesterol should be listed as an essential nutrient. It's actually required as a raw material to make steroid hormones, adrenal hormones, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. All these hormones are steroid hormones. They're made up of 95% by weight cholesterol. You can't make enough cholesterol to do all that, so you have to eat some. Now, and the normal cholesterol should range from 220 to 270. Doctors work really hard with statin drugs and exercise and diet to get you down below 200. Well, when you get down below 200, you're at high risk of getting brain diseases that have to do with the white matter of the brain, the myelin of the brain. And, of course, any free radical damage of the brain. We're talking about things like MS, Parkinson's disease, Lou Gehrig's disease. We're talking about adrenal exhaustion. We're talking about staying in menopause for 30 years. We're talking about low T, erectile dysfunction, and we're talking about Alzheimer's disease. All these are physician-caused disease because they put people on the cholesterol-restricted diets and they add statin drugs to their regimen of drugs. And, of course, you're going to wind up with all kinds of diseases, including the ones that I just mentioned, if you stay away from cholesterol and take cholesterol-lowering drugs. So I hope that answers the question, Kathy. Anything more on cholesterol or anything else?
Well, I had it. They tested me, and I was at 187, but they wanted to get it below 70.
They want to get it below 70? No. I would fire all them.
Yeah.
Fire them all. And you want to be above 200. 170 something, even 180, 190 is too low. You definitely don't want to do that. Do not get below 70. If they're doing that, they all need to have their licenses taken away as quacks, frauds, and people of reckless endangerment. We'll be back after these messages.
Let's head to Southern California. And Shannon, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Oh, Shannon, you're on the air.
Hello, Dr. Wallach.
Hi.
Hello. I need a redo. I had called you about a man I have that has dementia, but the family inadvertently gave me wrong information. He's a male, 82, 155 pounds, and he has he's taking 2 healthy brain and heart packs, 2 Ultimate Dailies, 2 Prost FX, and 1 Ocean's Gold for dementia, which he is exhibiting new and odd behaviors. He's had prior strokes and heart attacks. He has a damaged thyroid. And they told me he had a prostate problem, but that was the mistake. He actually has a malignant tumor in his bladder. He's got blood in his urine, and it bleeds more or less off and on. So
okay, well, yeah, well, if this guy has a malignant tumor any place, what I want him to do is go ahead and add some selenium to his program, and I would have him take 2 of those healthy heart and brain packs, so that add an extra bottle of selenium, so he can take 9 of those a day, 3 at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, take a full dose of everything else twice a day, and obviously all that will be accomplished for the 2 healthy heart and brain packs per month and an extra bottle of selenium. Now, you want to get his auric points above 100,000, and you can do that with 6 pieces a day of the triple treat chocolate. You can go ahead and buy that 100-piece box. It's a lot cheaper per piece than it is for the 20-count bags because the packaging is so high and so forth. And so get the box of 100 of the triple treat chocolates and take 6 a day. That'll get his auric points above 100,000. Also, I would have him consider something like Z-Radical. Z-Radical is a wonderful blend of super juices, plus it has fucoidan in it. He could take a couple ounces of that a day. And, of course, it will not hurt if he takes some of our new products, such as Immortalium. That will actually support and promote stem cell function and sort of rebuild normal tissue. Now, we do have a CD out there called Juice Cures. It wouldn't hurt for him to, even if he's 82 years old, it wouldn't hurt for him to listen to that CD. It's actually a set. It's got 2 CDs, Juice Cures. It's an interview I did with Jay Cordish, the legendary juice man, and he actually had bladder cancer, his terminal bladder cancer, like 70 years ago, and he's still alive today. And he, through juicing, which really I think the most important part of what he did with juicing was to get the antioxidants above 100,000. Also, in the last, at least 10 years that I know of, he began adding our plant minerals to his juicing programs, because the amount of minerals that are in fresh vegetables and fruits which you juice is highly variable depending on what's in the soil. So you add 1 ounce per 100 pounds of body weight of our minerals to juice programs. Call me every 2 weeks on this guy. We'll be back after these messages.
Let's head to Boston, Massachusetts, and Renee, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Renee, you're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. I have a few things. I called you a few months back about liver weakness, hyperparathyroidism, candida, and bladder pressure. You probably don't remember, but you recommended me a program, and I am sleeping better. I used to wake up every night. I have less sugar lows, although I am hungry a lot now that my sponsor put me on a Flora program, and you had recommended to try to gain weight. You had recommended sweet potatoes at least 3 a day, which I loved, and I had them with butter, and I was maintaining my weight. But now, because of the program, I'm on my 5th day, I cut down on them. So I'm wondering if there's anything else, or does that affect
How much weight have you gained? How much weight have you gained?
No, I'm maintaining it. I'm not losing it anymore. I probably gained about 2 pounds, though. My scales.
Yeah, and what do you weigh?
95.
Okay, and how tall are you?
5'3".
Okay, yeah, you're about 15, 20 pounds underweight. But you should have 2 servings a day. They could be a meal replacer, each of those servings, or one of them could be a sort of a snack after dinner or dessert after dinner. Use the Slender Effect shake. If you mix it with water, it should be weight loss. We don't want that. So what you do is make it with heavy whipping cream, throw in 4 eggs, and do that at least once a day, maybe twice a day. You can either have it as a cold shake, throw a handful of ice in there, or you can put it in the freezer after you beat it up and whip it up and blend it. You can put it in the freezer and make a really great ice cream, and make it with heavy whipping cream. And it wouldn't hurt to throw in some cocoa gevity. If you like chocolate, if you don't, you got the vanilla, of course. And it's amazing what you can do when you take in healthy calories. And you want to stay away from stuff like Ensure and Pediasure and those kinds of things. I was actually at a home visiting a sick child, and they were giving her the Pediasure, and 40% of it was a kind of like soy oil, corn oil, canola oil. You just want to strangle somebody because it causes free radical damage to every tissue in your body, particularly blood vessels, increase your risk of cancer, and so on. And you have to be obsessive about reading labels and staying away from this stuff. Don't compromise. Do not compromise. Make sure that everything that you're putting in your mouth is gluten-free. Make sure that it's non-GMO, no MSG. All that kind of, the drill. Okay. You can actually throw in Go Foods. That'll help, Renee. Hyperparathyroidism. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hyperparathyroidism is due to a raging osteoporosis, low calcium. Do you have any history of things like asthma or bronchitis?
No.
Okay. Have any history of skin problems, eczema, dermatitis, or psoriasis, or rosacea on your face?
No, I do have the brown spots, though.
Okay. Are any of them getting smaller?
I think actually fading a little bit.
Okay, so it might even be, even if you think about it real hard, you might see some fading of color. And you've been on the program for how long now?
About 2 months.
Okay. Yeah, you should see something within 60, 90 days. And at this point, getting the perception that they're shrinking a little bit, what I would do is get a ruler, one of these steel tape measures, and actually measure how many millimeters these spots are, and pick out a few that are particularly big and measure them, and then measure them every 2 weeks and see if they're shrinking, a quarter of a millimeter or half a millimeter and so forth. And you might not see a lot of benefit eventually, originally. What happens is down the line, you're getting better, really little bit by little bit, and then suddenly one day the gates open up and it's almost like you're getting better by doubling every night. And so just stick with it, the fact that you've seen some perceptible improvement, okay? All right, Doug, we got time to start another one?
Yeah, let's head to New Mexico. And Nancy, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Oh, Nancy, you're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach.
Hi.
I'm having problems with three things. Discs. My discs are herniating. I have 3 in my neck. I haven't had to have any surgery. They've done traction there. I have one L4, L5 a year and a half ago. They had to, I had no choice, they said, but to do back surgery that I really regret having. They caged my vertebrae, and they're saying now that I have the disc underneath it. They want to do a discogram next week because I'm still in a lot of pain. And a year and a half later, they're just finding out that my L4, L5 back surgery a year and a half ago is not fused, and the plastic piece that they used in place of it has moved, and my pain's coming from possible not fusing and the disc below it.
Okay. Now, do your other problems have anything relationship to this?
Acid. I have a really bad problem with acid reflux, and they just told me I have osteoporosis at a fracture level. They want to put me on medication for that I don't want to be on. I don't want to open up my back again, and now they said that that's my only option is another back surgery.
Okay, well, they're absolutely lying to you. There is other options, or I should say there are other options. And, of course, osteoporosis is a signal that you're missing some minerals, including calcium and magnesium and phosphorus and so on. Disc problems, herniated disc, certainly has to do with deficiency of minerals and so forth. Because they're connective tissue, they respond very well. And reflux should not be called acid reflux. Acid reflux doesn't exist. It should really be called lack of acid reflux. We got to acidify your stomach and prevent all kinds of bacteria and yeast and things growing in there. Okay, Shar, this is a Shar thing.
Oh, yeah, she's definitely got a gluten problem, and that's why she's not absorbing.
Right, that's why she has so many problems.
Yep.
So what would you give her? What do you weigh, Nancy?
I weigh 117 right now because I've been real depressed about it and crying. And
Okay, well, this is your lucky day. 117 pounds, about your size, Shar. What does she weigh? Or, excuse me, what would you do for a 117-pound person?
1 healthy bone and joint pack.
Okay, and for the reflux, what would you do?
Well, she could try the enzymes for
the
starters.
Enzymes. Yep, the ultimate enzymes help acidify your stomach, salt your food to taste. And 1 healthy bone and joint pack. Go ahead and take a half a dose of everything at breakfast, half a dose of everything at dinner. The exception will be the glucogel. Get an extra bottle of glucogel so you can take 15 of those a day, 5 at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then get another bottle of osteo so you can take an ounce of that at breakfast and dinner. And then call us every 2 weeks, Nancy. Personally, I wouldn't get any surgery. I certainly would do back surgery. I wouldn't do any joint surgery. Don't do it. Call us every 2 weeks. We'll be back after these messages. We're back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here for Youngevity and 90 for Life Crusade. And Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to California. And Jennifer, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Oh, Jennifer, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hi, how can we help you?
Well, I have 3 quick scenarios for you. One is myself, and 2 of them are 2 of my 9 children that I've had. Myself, I have underactive thyroid diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease. I deal with allergies, anxiety, and panic attacks where I have Xanax. Ibuprofen, I take progesterone because the lining of my uterus is too thick, so I have what I call monster monthlies. I'm also anemic because of that. Unfortunately, I smoke, which I do want to quit, and I was also told that I had diverticulitis. That's just me. I don't know if you want me to stop there.
Yeah, stop there. Diverticulitis. You have any skin problems, any eczema, dermatitis, or psoriasis?
Eczema.
Eczema. Okay, this is a Shar thing. Shar?
Yeah, that's gluten, big time gluten.
Yep.
Gluten problem.
Yeah, alert, gluten alert, gluten alert.
Yep.
Yeah, the fact that you have so many diverse problems here, Jennifer, says there's a basic underlying problem, and the 2 giveaways are the eczema and the diverticulitis. Anytime you have celiac disease, diverticulitis, appendicitis, irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel disease, colitis, ulcerative colitis, or Crohn's disease, you've got a gluten intolerance. And secondarily, what will happen is because you can't absorb omega-3 essential fatty acids, you get eczema, and also you have asthma. Do you or any of your children have asthma?
Yeah, more recently I was diagnosed. I sit there and tell the doctors they're full of it, but, the inhalers help.
Well, it actually goes along with the eczema, Jennifer. And do you have children?
Yeah, I've had 9 children myself.
Okay, now do any of them have any of the symptoms of skin problems or belly problems, asthma, anything like that?
Yes, my 19-year-old, in fact, has eczema extremely bad, and I told him, because I've been researching your stuff, and I'm ready to order, but I wanted to talk to you first to make sure I order what we need correctly.
Sure. Okay, now, do you have any other issues, like high blood pressure, diabetes?
No diabetes. The blood pressure last time was like 140 over like 82. So they told me it was borderline high, but usually it's lower. And I was also having anxiety.
Yeah, you could have had what's called white coat hypertension, where you get nervous when you go to the doctor and all that kind of stuff. If somebody had 9 kids, you shouldn't be nervous around doctors. You've been living with them. Okay, Shar, this is a Shar thing. What would you do?
I get her on a healthy bone and joint pack, definitely. And she only weighs 100 and some pounds.
What do you weigh, Jennifer?
I weigh 167.
Oh, she needs 2. And she needs to get off the gluten immediately.
Okay, 2 healthy bone and joint packs per month. Yeah. No gluten, and of course, for the high blood pressure, I would throw in the Ultimate Daily tablets, 3 of those twice a day, 1 bottle a month. And for the thyroid, I would throw in the Ocean's Gold, 3 of those twice a day, is 2 bottles a month. And give us a call every couple of weeks. See you on yourself. You say you have a couple of kids here?
And I apologize. After the 2 bone and joint, I got the Ocean. What was the middle one that you said?
Yeah, the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, 2 of them. Okay. Yeah, then you need the Ocean's Gold, 2 bottles a month of that. That's 3 twice a day, 3 of the tablets twice a day. And the high blood pressure Ultimate Daily tablets, like my daily prayers. And you could take 3 of those twice a day. That's 1 bottle a month because it's a big bottle. Give us a call every couple of weeks. Bring us up to date, Jennifer. Want to know your blood pressure. Want us to know how your eczema is doing. Let us know how your son's asthma is doing. He needs to, and all your kids, because you pass it on to all your kids, need to get on a gluten-free diet. And if they have any kids, they got to get on a gluten-free diet. Well, thank you, Shar. Super job. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Doug and Richard. Superlative job as usual. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.